guys, and welcome back to Mental Health Mondays. Now today, for the third video in my Recovery 101 series, I wanted to do a video kind of addressing any people who might have friends or a family member that might be suffering from mental illness, and I wanted to give you tips on kind of what to do, because it can be very difficult. Now this is obviously a very generalised video. I was going to do one on just helping friends, but then I thought these tips kind of apply across the board no matter who you have close to you that's suffering from mental illness. And I think especially for young people, it's so difficult to know what to do if your friend is mentally ill, if you've never experienced anything like it before. So I've put together some tips, just like I've done in my other videos, on ways that you can help a friend or family member or whatever who is suffering from mental illness. So tip number one is just be there. Now it sounds really obvious, but people who are suffering with mental illness can feel quite alone at times, and actually reminding them that you are there for them can really help. Like, it really means a lot to me when my friends say to me, you know, you can come to me whenever you want, like I'm always here to talk. So just let them know that you are always there, like no matter what, as long as you're awake, you will try everything in your power you can to help, or just sit and listen. Sometimes they might just want to literally just offload everything onto you about how they're feeling, and it may not even make sense to you, but honestly, you don't have to understand. Like, you literally just need to be there. Number two is to make sure you let them that you're not judging them. Another thing about people suffering from mental illness is that they can feel quite judged, and you know, they can often feel kind of ashamed of some of the things that they do. But if you're their friend, you need to try your best to kind of keep an open mind and keep your mouth shut at certain times, because they might do things that you think, oh my god, like why would you do that? But you don't want them to be afraid to open up to you. So my advice would be, unless they've told you like that they've murdered someone or something, not to judge their situation because they are ill, and their illness does mean that they behave in a way that they wouldn't normally do. Tip number three is to just be easy on them. Now especially with parents, it can be frustrating when they can see their child is upset, but they're like not telling them what's the matter, and they feel kind of powerless in that situation. Trust me, if you put a load of pressure on them and make them feel bad, that's only going to make the situation escalate, and it's only going to make them want to back away more and not tell you anything. Don't put pressure on your friends or your family members to, you know, tell you what's wrong. You need to wait for them to be ready to come to you and to talk. You can be persistent, because if there is something wrong and you need to find out what it is, then that's fine, but don't be too pushy. You want to have like an honest, open relationship with them. You don't want to scare them off, and it is so hard to get the balance right, but practice makes perfect. I think once you spend a lot of time with someone, you do become more able to read their moods. So number four is forgiveness, and this is a really important thing, because a lot of people that have someone close to them that suffers from mental illness may get personally targeted once in a while. Your friend might lash out at you and say something that they didn't actually mean, but that was really hurtful. And you know, I know that I was really horribly sneaky, you know, to my parents, like when I wanted to like overdose or something, and I said horrible things and I did horrible things. But at the end of the day, my parents learned to realise that it wasn't me, like it was the mental illness that was making me behave in this way. You just need to remember to not hold a grudge, because that is going to make the situation worse. Obviously you can let them know that it's, you know, not acceptable to behave in that way, but that you understand that it's sometimes out of their control. Just let go and forgive. Like, my parents have forgiven me for you know, a lot. I say me, but you need to kind of think of it as, you know, the illness. Like, I would never in my right mind have done some of the things that I did. Tip number five is to not tell them that they are overreacting. So the thing is about mental illness is that it can get very extreme. And for the person who is suffering, you know, it can feel like the end of the world. Certain situations might make your friend or family member anxious or more paranoid or more depressed. And even if you don't understand why they're feeling this way, because a lot of things, for example with anxiety, is very, very irrational. To them this behaviour is normal because, you know, they're living with this mental illness that's making them think things that aren't necessarily true. So just take it as true, whatever they tell you, and, you know, do what you can to help. Number 6 is to plan stuff. So you want to get your friend out the house. You want to plan like activities for them. Obviously you can tailor it if they don't like doing certain things and they don't feel up to doing whatever, and then you can have a compromise. But ultimately you want to motivate them to get out of bed and do stuff, even if it means you just go around for like a sleepover or for like a movie day or whatever. Just try and keep them occupied. But equally, if some days they feel like they don't want to do anything, try your best to be understanding of this. And if they do want to be left alone and they're not in a kind of high risk situation, then do leave them alone for a while, but let them know that you are there if they need someone. And the final tip, number 7, is to not be afraid to seek help from a professional. So in obviously high risk and extreme situations, when for example someone is very suicidal, you need to accept that you can't take all responsibility and you can't handle everything, and sometimes you do need to tell someone. So for example, with some of my friends that have been ill, I've had to many a time call the police and get them to go out and actually stop them from doing something. There are also lines like Samaritan and Childline that you can call, and if you are with mental health services and you are at high risk, they should have given parents a number for a doctor on call just for advice on what to do in certain situations. And equally, if you do feel like your friend is kind of endangering themselves, say by self-harming a lot and not telling anyone, sometimes you do have to make the decision to tell their parents or tell a teacher or whatever. I've had a lot of friends who were very angry at me in that situation because I wanted to save their life or because I wanted to tell someone what they were doing. In the long run, they will hopefully understand that what you did was for their own good. So I really hope you found today's video helpful. If you do want me to do a video in more depth on kind of, you know, helping a friend or parents helping children, like I could get my mum on, then just let me know. That could be another episode for Recovery 101. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you did find it helpful, and if you are the one suffering, do show it to those closest to you, and I hope that this helps them. And I will see you all very, very soon. Goodbye!